Something I wanted to mention about the Bafang 8FUN mid-drive bicycle hybrid kit. I've had it for 3 weeks, 255 miles on it. I tow. I got a trailer over here that I tow with. Actually put a barbecue propane tank in it and haul it to work, which is about 38 pounds, I think, in the trailer when it's full. Plus I've hauled my wife's battery home, came in from FedEx. And it tows just fine. Pushes you around a little bit. You got to be careful with the brakes and everything. But anyway, what I wanted to actually talk about was shifting it. I found out pretty quickly, and one of the reasons that I didn't go with the mid-drive earlier is I was concerned about shifting, about all that power through the drivetrain, which you really got to be careful about. As far as shifting this thing, you don't want to have it have power from the motor doing the shifting for you, because it will clunk, it will damage something, it will break something, it will break your chain, probably wear out the derailleur or something. So I make sure that whenever I am rolling down the trail or down the road, that I always do it in such a way that the motor is not running and I'm actually shifting under my own power. And then once it's properly shifted, then I re-engage. And one of the first ways that I did that was whenever you're set up in pedal assist mode, it takes like a half a second for it to sense that you're actually pedaling, and then the motor kicks in. And what I would do is pedal for a while. When it was time to shift, I would stop pedaling, shift it, and then start pedaling again. And usually, as long as the derailleur is adjusted properly and it shifts quickly, by the time that the motor re-engaged, it would already be shifted. But every once in a while, it was going to give you a good clunk because the derailleur is out of adjustment. For whatever reason, the chain wasn't shifting to the higher or lower sprocket. Another way to do it is to not only stop pedaling, but reverse pedal, because the motor will quit. It will quit more quickly, so you can shift a little faster. But it's a very uncomfortable, odd thing to do whenever you're trying to, say, accelerate down the road or down the trail. So what I quickly found out was I have the supplied brake handles with the brake sensors installed in them, and what they will do as kind of a safety feature, common sense, is whenever you squeeze the brake, you don't want the motor to be fighting you. So they do shut the motor off whenever you squeeze them. My right brake handle has no such sensor in it. This is the original Shimano brake and shifter assembly, and it hasn't been replaced because it's all one unit. If I just got a separate shifter, I could put the other brake handle over here. But I know well enough that whenever I squeeze this, the motor cuts out. So what I do is I operate it like a clutch on a motorcycle. If you squeeze it in just ever so slightly, the motor disengages, and you can continue pedaling like a normal bicycle, shift it, and once it is properly shifted, you can feel it, you can hear it, there's no chain running or riding along the side of the sprocket, it's fully engaged. I simply release it, and the motor re-engages, and on I go. Requires a little bit of coordination, but if you can ride a motorcycle or drive a manual transmission car or something like that, it's pretty simple to do. And after a few days of that, I'm good enough that I can actually even use the throttle. So have the throttle engaged, be riding along even without releasing the throttle, squeeze the brake in just ever so slightly, just not quite enough that it actually drags the brakes, but enough that it kills the motor, shift it, and then let it back out, and away we go. Works pretty well for me. I don't know if anybody else has discovered that, yeah, it's highly recommended. If you do end up with a system like this, it's one way to go. So, thank you.